The city doesn't need a survey to tell us that stormwater improvements are needed.
We're often subject to flash flooding, especially during high tide and storms.
We want you to know that the city is tackling the flooding issue. Olivia Almagro has more in our Plan Progress report.
It's that time of the year when rainstorms can turn into this. The flash flood we all experienced back on June 5th.
When you have a very severe storm event, it's difficult to actually get some of that water off the streets that's actually causing the flooding and out into Biscayne Bay or down some other means such as groundwater wells or into pump stations.
Regular flooding is a seasonal event in Miami Beach, and the city recognizes the need for constant improvements when it comes to managing flash flooding.
The city is making efforts to put more infrastructure, such as pipes and wells and injection wells, new inlets, and all those pieces that get together that form the stormwater system.
The city is actively working on the systems here. In the South Point neighborhood and several other stormwater systems are slated to be worked on in the coming months.
A lot of those improvements that are forthcoming are going to be doing stormwater management improvements, adding additional catch basins so that the water isn't ponding in the street and getting it into the underground pipes.
While city crews are busy installing pipes for a new drainage structure, the city's public works department is doing their part too. Crews sweep, clean, and repair the collection system on a regular basis.
We have mechanical sweepers that go around the city, and any street that actually has a curve gets swept by a mechanical sweeper.
When parked cars pose a problem for the sweeper, the crews clean the basins by hand. Residents can rest assured that a downpour of efforts are underway to mitigate flooding in Miami Beach.
Over the course of the next 18 months, the city's looking at an expenditure of about $150 to $180 million in its capital improvement program that relates to water improvements, stormwater improvements, roadway resurfacing, landscaping, and general beautification of our streets.
For MBTV 77, I'm Olivia Almagro.
The tennis courts at Flamingo Park proved to be no match for that record rainfall on June 5th. The storm damaged the clay courts, forcing the city to close them in early June. A contractor was hired to repair them, and the courts reopened in July. More permanent upgrades to the tennis center are called for in Flamingo Park's new master plan. We'll give you the details on our next edition of CityVision.
And it's a grand slam at South Point Park. Just months after the reopening of the 17-acre park, the city unveiled plans for a long-awaited remodel of the pier. The current pier was closed by the city in 2004 due to corrosion on the rebar of the structure. Take a look at the vision for the new pier. The architects that designed the adjacent South Point Park have also drummed up the design for the new pier, which allows space for fishing, sunning, and sitting, all with a magical view.
Those of us who've experienced walking on the catwalk at South Point Park when the cruise ships go by, it takes your breath away. So I can just imagine what it's going to be like when you're on the pier and those cruise ships go by. It's going to be really, really spectacular.
The new design still needs final approval from the Commission. The remodel of the pier is slated to be finished by mid-2011.
A major remodel happened in South Beach 30 years ago.
And this year we're celebrating Art Deco style, the 30th anniversary of our historic designation.
The Park Central here is proof it was one of the first hotels to embrace preservation. In the 1970s, a small group of dedicated people began to recognize the Art Deco marvels in South Beach and wanted to do something to preserve them among the city's changing landscape. Among them, Barbara Bear Capitman even lobbied federal lawmakers to declare part of Miami Beach a historic district.
The city forefathers disagreed vehemently, and so she had to go to literally to the United States Congress and petition congressmen and get full support for the creation of a National Register Historic District. Now, the official name of the district became the Miami Beach Architectural District because it was the first 20th century historic district ever to be listed on the National Register of Historic Places.
The beautifully preserved Art Deco in Miami Beach is a big draw for tourists.
One of the many reasons that festivals and conventions flock here for fun in the sun with a splash of history. The American Black Film Festival made a return to Miami Beach. The event attracted thousands of industry professionals, talent, and fans to our city. Founded in 1997, the festival was created to strengthen the Black filmmaking community through collaboration and education. Founder Jeff Friday says Miami Beach is the perfect place for the 4-day event.
And the idea was to get people who work in the film business away from their normal lives. So when we came here in 2002, this is the perfect place, and there's no more accessible destination and tropical destinations.
The festival took advantage of our wonderful theaters, the Fillmore, the Colony, and the Miami Beach Cinematheque to screen its films.
Well, our bustling theaters, Ivette, were no match for our dancing senior citizens who kicked up their heels to the tune of the Golden Oldies.
Here we go.
The city and the convention center teamed up to sponsor the seniors' beach party. Volunteers from the Miami Beach Teen Club served everyone dinner. Then many of them put their dancing shoes on and hit the dance floor.
I'm hot. You're hot.
The food was superb, and the music is great. The service is wonderful. It's a beautiful, beautiful evening.
The party is the best.
Grants from the city of Miami Beach are helping another very special population bring out their inner artists. The Sunrise Log Cabin Plant Nursery and Life Training Center in North Beach unveiled the We Are Artists 2 art display. Developmentally challenged adults created the artwork while learning life skills in the process.
What we're currently doing is using our telling story through visuals programming to teach people who are non-artists how to use the right side of their brain to succeed in life, to succeed in business, to give them that step up.
The Sunrise Log Cabin Nursery is located on 81st Street and Collins Avenue, across from the North Shore Open Space Park. It's a place where developmentally disabled adults are able to work in a sheltered environment, which helps them lead more independent lives.
Well, I like this place because people come and see us, and they like our work, they like what we do here.
Sunrise Nursery is a great place for your plant and Christmas tree needs. For more information, visit logcabinnursery.com.
Even when skies are sunny and you're enjoying a day at the park, experts are watching the weather patterns for any hint of danger in the skies of South Florida. The National Hurricane Center, located inside FIU's Miami campus, is where all the action happens.
And this one just about petered itself out. Poof!
The center is responsible for tracking severe weather. When a storm or hurricane is expected within 36 hours, the center issues appropriate watches and warnings through the media until the storm passes. Experts say this season's average forecast should be taken seriously, especially by Miami Beach residents who live in a mandatory evacuation zone.
The seasonal forecast is for a number range of between 9 and 14, and 1 to 3 of those could be expected to be a major hurricane. And I always remind people that while that's useful for people with global interests, for a local community, all I have to do is go back to 1992 and see why I don't recommend people follow it much. We only had 6 storms, one was Andrew.
If you need information on developing your hurricane survival kit or to help you plan your evacuation route, we've got you covered. Visit miamibeachfl.gov and click on Public Safety and Hurricane Info.
It's a simple way to stay safe, buckling up your seatbelt. For some of us, it's a habit.
It is, and for others, it should become a habit because Florida seatbelt laws just got tougher. Starting June 30th, police officers can ticket you just for not wearing a seatbelt. Adults who are caught not buckled up in the front seat will face a $30 fine. The law already allowed for enforcement for drivers and passengers under 18 years of age.
No litter, no fine.
Coming up next on CityVision, no buts about it, more volunteers are showing an interest in keeping our beaches clean.
And more local students are showing an interest in what's lurking below in our deep blue sea.
And up next, more Art Deco as we sit down with the director of the Miami Design Preservation League.